His hand hit my back. Hard. The stone bridge trembled under my boots, lava churning far below the boss arena. The dragon roared from the pit, but the sound wasn't what scared me. Jace wouldn't look at me. That was the real danger sign. Not the dungeon. Not the final boss. The way his eyes slid past mine like I was already gone. "Careful, Lyra," he said, voice soft, fake worried. "You're too close to the edge." No. He was the one putting me there. Isabel clung to his arm, all glossy lips and big innocent eyes. The kind of girl who pretended she didn't know how pretty she was. She leaned up to his ear, but she wanted me to hear. "If she falls, we still get the dragon core, right?" My stomach turned to ice. I opened my mouth to tell him not to listen. To ask if he was really that stupid. That cruel. I never got the words out. Jace shoved me. Both hands. Hard enough to knock the world away. The stone vanished from under my boots, the bridge ripped upward, and suddenly there was only open air and molten light. I reached out for him on instinct. My fingers curled for his wrist, for anything solid, for any part of him that might still love me. He stepped back instead of forward. Isabel smiled. The dragon's jaws opened beneath me like a furnace door. The heat punched my face, stealing my breath. Lava light filled my vision as the pit swallowed me whole. The fall ripped the scream out of my throat. Hot air tore at my skin like claws. The dragon inhaled, and the force dragged me straight into its breath. My HP bar plummeted in the corner of my sight. Above, nobody ran toward me. They ran away. Straight for the glittering loot chest behind the boss. Isabel's fake sobs vanished. Jace's silhouette turned its back on me completely. I died looking at their backs. The dragon's breath hit. Fire exploded around me, inside me, everywhere at once. Skin, muscle, bone, everything turned to agony, then to nothing. My HP hit 0. My vision shattered into blinding white. Then black. Silence slammed down. No fire. No heat. Nobody. Just crushing emptiness pressing from every direction. For a moment, I thought that was it. Game over. End. Then I heard it. A heartbeat. Deep. Slow. Heavy. It thudded through the dark like a war drum. Each beat made golden cracks split the blackness under my skin. It wasn't my heart. System error, soul data not releasing, flickered across the darkness. Unknown entity attempts merge, followed. After a pause, override accepted. Heat surged into my chest. Not the kind that burned. The kind that claimed. Fire threaded through my veins like liquid metal. My bones knit themselves back together in molten light. More text flashed. Unique class acquired, S-rank, Dragon Queen, Core Bond, Ancient Flame WIRM, Skill unlocked, Dragon Speech, Command, Skill unlocked, Boss Aura, Passive. A second heartbeat locked into rhythm with mine. I opened my eyes. I was standing in a vast chamber of gold. The dragon's core. Walls pulsed with glowing veins, lighting the cavern like a beating heart. Embers drifted and sank onto my arms without burning. Golden cracks traced beneath my skin. They glowed faintly, crawling from my fingers up to my shoulders like someone had shattered me and filled the cracks with sunlight. Sparks fizzled slowly off my fingertips. Something huge moved in front of me. The dragon lowered its head from the shadows, one golden eye staring straight into me. The same monster that killed me. I braced for fire. It bowed. Power slammed into my spine, filling my lungs, my mind, my anger. The dungeon's energy coiled around me, waiting for orders. For the first time, my hate felt useful. Behind me, on the stone, a charred body lay twisted. My body. Burned armor, blackened hair, lifeless eyes. The girl who fell. The girl who trusted. The girl who died for loot. I looked at her without flinching. You threw away the wrong Lyra, I said quietly. A portal shimmered open, dragging at me. The dungeon had spit me out once as a corpse. Now it wanted to eject something else. Something worse. I let it. Light swallowed me again. When it faded, cold night air hit my face. I stood at the dungeon entrance, looking out at the beginner hub, tents, wooden walls, players, torches. The same place I left. Except I wasn't the same. Someone saw me and screamed. Heads whipped around. Conversations cut off. Weapons half-drew. I didn't blame them. If I saw a girl walk out of a dungeon with glowing skin and slowly smoking hair, I'd stare too. Jace turned. His face drained of color like someone pulled his soul out. Isabel clutched his arm tighter, nails digging in. Her lips parted in disbelief and something uglier. That's not possible, she whispered. She died. I watched her die. Yeah. You enjoyed it. The ring of players around me tensed. Curious eyes sharpened into fear. Fear twisted into aggression. Hands slid to hilts. Mana gathered around staves. Isabel moved first. She always did. She's not Lyra anymore, she shrieked, voice cracking perfectly. She merged with the dragon. She's a monster now. If we don't kill her, she'll kill us. The crowd swallowed the word monster eagerly. Jace didn't step forward. He didn't defend me. He didn't even say my name properly. He just stared like I was a glitch he wished the system would delete. The betrayal hit again. Once in the dungeon. Once here. Both times, they chose themselves over me. The hurt lasted one heartbeat. Then something else rose. Power clawed up my throat, hot and heavy. There was a language under my tongue that wasn't human. The dragon's heartbeat pounded in my ears, synced with my own. I inhaled. Kneel, I said. The word rolled out like a commandment. Skill activated, dragon speech, command, effect, submission, all targets LV 1 to 60, resistance failed, every player around me dropped. Armor clanged. Knees hit dirt. Staves slipped from fingers. Faces slammed toward the ground, bodies forced into a bow they didn't choose. Screams choked in throats. Only Jace and Isabel stayed half up. Their legs shook. Sweat slid down their faces. They were resisting instinctively, but their bodies were trembling on the edge of collapse. I walked toward them. Each step pushed heavier waves of pressure over the hub. Boss aura, active, pulsed in the corner of my vision. Fear rolled off the crowd like smoke. Isabel tried to speak. She's controlling you, she shouted at the players, voice high and desperate. She's making you bow. She's evil. Isabel, I cut in. Speak the truth. The command snapped like a trap. Dragon speech variant, truth, target, Isabel, resistance, failed. She jerked, eyes widening in horror as her jaw forced itself open. I lied to Jace, she gasped. I told him you didn't care about the party. I said you wanted the dragon core for yourself. I said you'd leave him once you were stronger. She tried to stop. Couldn't. I told him you were weak. That if we used you as bait, the drop rate would be better. I wanted you dead. I wanted your spot. I wanted him. Jace flinched like every word was a slap. Good. I turned my gaze to him. Your turn, I said. Lyra, please, truth. Dragon speech, truth, target, Jace, resistance, failed. His body shook. His mouth opened against his will. I pushed you, he choked. I chose Isabel. I chose loot. I thought we'd be stronger without you. I thought you were replaceable. I was relieved when you fell. The hub went silent. People had seen betrayals before. Backstabbing for loot was old news. But this? Having it ripped out, forced, undeniable, with the betrayer kneeling under a dragon's aura? Different. Dragon Queen, someone whispered hoarsely. The sky answered instead. A roar split the air above us. The ground trembled. Shadows swept over the hub as massive shapes swooped down, wings beating hot gusts over the tents. Dragons. They landed behind me in a semicircle, scales glowing, eyes burning like molten gold. Each one lowered its head as if greeting a superior. Tamed units, Dragon Legion, rank F, loyalty, absolute. The players cracked. Dragon Queen, we surrender, someone screamed. Please don't wipe the hub. Take them, another shouted, shoving Jace forward. Take the traitors. Just spare us. Hands grabbed Jace and Isabel, dragging them across the dirt. They hit the ground hard at my feet, bound by panic and fear instead of rope. Humans changed sides faster than system patches. Isabel sobbed openly now. The pretty act was gone. Jace's shoulders shook, his forehead pressed into the dirt. Lyra, he rasped. Please. I know I don't deserve anything. Just, don't feed me to them. I looked down at them. Once, I would have cried. Begged. Broken. That version of me lay burned in the dragon's chamber. You're not worth my fire, I said softly. A small voice cut through the chaos. I'll follow you, a girl said. I looked up. A low-level mage, cloth armor, cheap wand, barely older than 15, knelt a few steps away. Her hands shook, but her eyes held something like desperate hope. Please, she whispered. Just don't let this happen again. Don't let them decide who dies. More people started kneeling. Some out of fear. Some out of selfish survival. Some out of something that might become loyalty later. Dragon Queen, someone shouted. We'll serve you. Protect us, and we'll follow, another cried. System text chimed in quietly. Faction created, Dragon Legion, alignment, neutral hostile, player title, Apex entity. Great. I'd gone from healer girlfriend to mini world boss in under an hour. Before I could decide what to do with that, another voice spoke behind me. You're loud, it said. I turned. He wasn't kneeling. Tall. Lean. Cloak torn at the edges, sword at his hip. Dark hair. Eyes like storm clouds, flat, sharp, completely unimpressed by dragons or glowing girls. He looked at me, not through me. Excuse me? I asked. Your power, he said. It screams. Dragons hear it. Hunters hear it. Idiots hear it. Thought I'd see what the noise was about. Annoying. Kneel, I snapped. Power surged into the word on reflex. Dragon speech, command, target, unknown player, resistance check. Success. He didn't move. He just raised an eyebrow. No, the hub collectively stopped breathing. Even the dragons behind me hissed, wings twitching. No one had resisted my word yet. This guy did it like he was swatting a fly. Who are you? I asked. Valor, he said. Dragon hunter. Of course. You should be afraid, I told him. You should be quieter, he replied. You've got 5 minutes, maybe less, before every guild within range decides to erase you. People panic fast. As if on cue, a horn boomed outside the walls. The ground vibrated with marching feet and grinding wheels. Magic hummed heavy in the air. Valor's mouth tightened slightly. There it is, he muttered. Raid time. We climbed to the top of the wall. The canyon beyond was full of players. Guild banners. Siege towers. Magic cannons glowing with charged spells. lines of armored bodies ready to throw everything at one target. Me, for me? I said. Don't get excited, Valor replied. They're not here because they like you. A voice boomed through an amplification spell. Dragon Queen Lyra. Surrender control of your dragons and illegal class, or be purged for the safety of all players. Illegal. Cute. You did merge with a boss, Valor pointed out. Not my fault the system has good taste, I said. The voice shouted another ultimatum. I stepped fully onto the wall, letting the raid see me clearly, glowing cracks, ember hair, dragons pacing behind me. The air felt heavy, waiting. Behind me, Jace and Isabel knelt near the base of the wall, bound now, dragged along as bargaining chips. Fitting. If you hand them over, someone from the raid yelled, we might spare the hub. I laughed once, low. This is what you're worth to them, I called down to Jace and Isabel without turning. A maybe. Their silence told me enough. I raised my hand. Rise, I said. Dragon speech, field command, target, hub foundation, effect, awaken. The hub shook. Cracks of molten gold raced through the ground, under buildings, up the walls. The earth groaned. Then the entire hub lifted, rising from the canyon floor like a floating dungeon fortress. The raid stumbled, shouting. Magic cannons adjusted, aiming higher. Spells launched, streaking toward us in a blaze of color. Shield, I commanded, dragons surged up, forming a living wall. Spells slammed into scales and detonated, shaking the air with heat and sound. A stray bolt shot past, screaming straight for my face. Valor's sword flashed. He deflected it off the wall, arm tensing with the impact. Pay attention, Queen. Would be annoying if you died while I'm standing right here. I'm not dying, I said. You weren't supposed to last time either, he replied. Fair, charge, I ordered. Dragons dove from the floating hub, streaks of fire and fury plummeting toward the raid lines. They hit like meteor strikes, ripping through carefully arranged formations. I leaped onto a dragon's back and dropped with them. Wind burned my eyes, but the heat didn't hurt anymore. We skimmed over the enemy casters, their faces pale as they realized who was descending. Burn. Flame tore across their line. Dragonfire arc flashed in my sight. Shields shattered. HP bars cratered. Screams drowned under the roar of dragons. Arrows flew toward me. Valor landed on the same dragon in one smooth motion, sword flicking, knocking shots aside like he'd done this 100 times. Knowing him, he probably had. I said, don't die, he shouted. Then cover me properly, I shot back. His mouth twitched again, like he hated that he was enjoying this. We carved through squads together. Every time someone yelled about erasing the monster, I slammed their face into the ground with a word. Every time someone tried to stab me in the back, Valor's blade was already there. Eventually the shouts changed. Retreat! Fall back! We can't win this! The raid broke. We flew back up to the fortress as scattered players fled into the night. The canyon below was a mess of scorched earth, broken siege engines, and abandoned weapons. The hub settled back onto solid ground with a heavy quake. Dragons perched on the walls and roofs, watching. Players inside stared at me like I'd rewritten the rules, which I kind of had. Valor hopped down from the dragon and rolled his shoulders. Well, that's going to be talked about for a while. I'm hard to forget, I said. I noticed, he replied. The crowd parted as Jace and Isabel were dragged forward again. Bound. Shaking. Kneeling in the center of the square where everyone could see them. Feed them to the dragons, someone yelled. Burn them, another shouted. Make them pay. Jace's voice cracked. Lyra, please. I know I messed up. I was wrong. I was selfish. Don't throw me to them. Please. Isabel didn't speak. She just stared at the ground, shoulders trembling, the perfect act armor finally burned off. I could kill them. I could let a dragon swallow them whole. Quick. Loud. Satisfying for about 10 seconds. Then over. You won't die by my fire, I said. Relief flashed in their eyes. Too fast. I raised my hand. Brand. Dragon speech, brand, targets, Jace, Isabel, effect, title, coward's mark. Golden symbols seared onto the backs of their hands, a broken chain wrapping a dragon's eye. They hissed at the sting, but it was nothing compared to what they'd given me. Reputation, minus 80% across all player factions, blinked. Everywhere you go, I said, everyone will see what you are. I don't need to kill you. The world will handle the rest. I turned away. Valor watched me with that unreadable look. That wasn't mercy, he said. No, I answered. It was justice that lasts. Before he could answer, the system chimed again. Louder. Deeper. World notice, player anomaly, Lyra, Dragon Queen, balance protocol activated. The ground hummed with distant power. Awakening, true Dragon King, status, rising. Something ancient woke across the map.my bonded core pulsed an answer. Heat flared in my chest, not from fear this time, but from something dangerously close to excitement. Valor's hand slid to his sword. That doesn't sound friendly, he said. Probably isn't, I replied. You going to run? He asked. I looked at him. At the dragons. At the players staring from doorways and behind broken walls. At the world that tried to erase me twice and failed. No, I said. I think I've done enough running. He exhaled slowly. Good. It'd be annoying to hunt you down alone. So you're staying? He shrugged. Until that thing wakes up. After that, we'll see. I smiled, sharp and tired and ready. Fine, I said. Let the Dragon King rise. My core burned hot in my chest, answering the distant roar only I could feel. We'll see which dragon the world kneels to, I whispered. This time, when power rose to my tongue, I didn't swallow it. I owned it.